So I'm just driving out of the city right after seeing more fucking depravity. And I'm listening on the radio to on Taoiseach, Mind Fior's lackey. And he's there talking about how he doesn't think it's appropriate for politicians' houses to be targeted. It was bedtime for his children. It was very inappropriate. He doesn't want to comment any further. Sure, God fucking love you, you thick cunt. Do you actually understand the irony in what you're saying? Like, what about all of us worried about our homes and our children when they're outside them, or they're in the streets, or they're fighting up the town, or they're stabbing people, or they're walking into the schools with machetes or flick knives, as the Black and Tan said? What about them? See, ye don't care unless it affects ye. You don't care what you're putting on to the rest of us. What about the lady in Tipperary where the fella walked into her home and showed himself to her and her children? What about that? What about her safety and her children's bedtime that evening in her home? You absolute gumbean. Tell me, Minister, what about Aisling Murphy's family while they waited for her to come back from her run? What about them sitting in their home? Were they safe? Well, not far from it, their daughter was being murdered by one of your guests. What about all the girls that can't go to the gym in the evening after college anymore because they're being stalked? What about all the women who won't even go for a walk in the mornings anymore because they're afraid of what's on their streets? What about the two men who got targeted for being gay and in their own homes were beheaded and had their genitals cut off and shoved down their throats in their own homes? What about that, Simon? What about us all regular mom and dads who maybe can't let their kids out to play somewhere because they're after putting another iPass centre full of unvetted criminals beside them? You see, ye have infected everybody's homes, everybody's lives. So why should the same not happen to ye? This notion of elitism and superiority and that you're above us in some sort of a way, you do well to remember who ye work for and who's in charge, just as I will when I'm sitting in your fucking seat. Simon, I'm going to leave you with this, right? I know your education doesn't go as far as mine, and I'm definitely more versed in the Constitution and the law than you are, right? But this is something all the way back from like junior infants level, and I'm surprised you don't remember this, right? But I'll say it anyway. What's good for the goose is good for the gander.